Alright, so now we're going to make the most difficult kind of part for this project, and that's the little claw that goes onto the arm. Now, it's two different parts, but it's a little bit easier to make it as one part. So when we draw it, we're going to make it like this, and then we will extrude, so we have the top half and the bottom half, and then we'll extrude them individually and save them as two different parts. So the first thing that you want to do is go ahead and open up a new part, and then put your sketch on. And we're going to start this with a 2-point rectangle. Now the dimensions for the left rectangle, the left side here, we're going to make at 3.25. It shoots off my screen, so I'm going to hit home. And then the top part of the rectangle is going to be 3.5. So once we have that done, we're going to go ahead and put that circle in the center. That's going to be the middle part of your claw. So I'm going to grab my circle tool, and you don't want to put a dead center in the middle. You want to kind of come over to the side a little bit, and you don't want to start it on like the center point of your graph. So somewhere where you're not on the center point of your graph and you're not in the exact center of your circle, go ahead and draw a circle. So the dimensions for the circle we're going to center it first. So the center of the circle to the left side is going to be 2 inches. And then the center of the circle to the bottom is going to be 1.375. Alright. I apologize. No, it's not 1.375. This is going to be 1.625. Alright. So now we have it centered up and down, and we have it where we want right and left. So we're going to make the size of the circle what we need. So the diameter of the circle itself is going to be 2 inches. Alright, so there's our claw part. And now we're going to have to start to kind of define the fingers a little bit. So I'm going to use my line tool, and I'm going to start on the top of our line. Make sure that you're on that line, and then finish it on the left side. And we're going to measure those, and we're going to measure from the point to the corner. So from the corner here to the end of that line that we just drew, and we're going to make that 0.85. And it's going to be the same thing up and down, 0.85. Now we're ready to go ahead and do the top and bottom here. So I'm going to grab my line tool, do the same thing, start at the top, finish on the side. But our numbers are going to be a little bit different here because our hand goes down a little bit more. So right and left is going to be 1.25, and then up and down it's going to be 1.375. Same thing on our bottom right here. Our dimensions are going to be 1.375. And then right and left, it's going to be 1.25. Now it's not going to let me do this one because I must have drawn it at an exact 45-degree angle. So if this happens to you, you're going to have to undo your line and then redraw it and just do it at a little bit of a different angle to make sure that you don't get it exact. Sometimes the program says if you draw it exactly at a 45-degree angle, it assumes that you want it there, so it won't let you change it. Okay, now this bottom one's going to be that 1.25. Alright, so we're set with our finger, this outside part of our fingers. Now we have to make a little curved part because we got to be able to leave some space open on the side of our claw so that we can open and close it when it's actually attached. Because if it was flat like this, it would kind of clamp in on itself and it wouldn't be able to open. So we need this kind of arced section here to be able to open it up. So I'm going to grab my line tool, and I'm going to start on this bottom line and just make a straight line up. Just make sure that it's a straight line, that you're not angled one way or the other. We're going to measure that line, and it is going to be 0.65. Now this line right and left is going to be 0.375. Alright, so that part's done. We're going to start to make our curve. Before we do that though, we're going to have to divide our line. We're going to have to divide our hand in half here. So I'm going to use my line tool, and if you bring your mouse on, you can see you get like a dotted line when you're dead center. So I'm going to use that dotted line, and I'm just going to finish it on my circle. So I've divided that section here. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to move my mouse so I can see that dotted line. There I go. Now I'm centered. And I'm going to divide my claw in half. So now I have a top section and a bottom section. Alright, so now to finish off our little rounded section, I'm going to use my arc tool. I'm going to start on the end of the line that we just drew, and I'm going to finish it on our dividing line, and I'm going to bring my arc out until it touches the outside edge. And that's it. We don't really need to do any more measuring on this section. We have to do 2 more circles, and then we'll be done. So I'm going to draw my circle. I'm going to put one here. And again, don't get them on the dotted lines when you're doing this. Just kind of put 2 of them over. Definitely do not put the circle here on the center of the one that we just drew. Alright, so measuring these circles, center to the side is going to be 0.375. That's going to be for both of them, so let's just go ahead and do both of them now. And then we're going to measure from the center of the circle to the center line that we just drew, and that's going to be 0.375 as well. Same on both. Okay, now the only thing that we need to measure now is the actual size of the circle. These circles are going to be 1/4 of an inch, so 0.25. Alright, that was a lot of measuring, a lot of stuff going on, but you guys got it done. That's all the measurements that we need to do. Now, since we're going to extrude this in 2 parts, we need to save it as 2 different parts. And we want to do this before you extrude. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save this. So, I'm going to get off of my sketch. So, right click, finish sketch. And I'm going to go to the eye. And I'm going to go to save as. And hopefully you guys made an ARM folder. And you're saving your stuff in there. And you're going to save this as claw top. Hit save. Then you'll see at the top of your screen it should change to claw top. Now we're going to make a copy, the same way we did when we did our chess pieces. So I'm going to go to the eye, save as, save copy as, and I'm going to save this one as claw bottom. Alright, so now we have a claw top, and then we just saved a copy as a claw bottom. This one is the claw top, so we're going to extrude the top. So I'm going to hit E to extrude. I'm only going to select the top half, not the bottom. So I'm going to select that, and we're going to extrude it to 0.38. Then I'm just going to hit the little save icon again. That one is done. You can change it to whatever color you want to. Then when you're done doing that, then I'm going to open up my claw bottom. If I can find it, claw bottom. And then I'm going to extrude that one as well, but this time I'm just going to extrude the bottom. And again, I'm going to extrude it to 0.38. Then I'm going to hit the little save icon again, change it to whatever color you want, and you're done with the claw. That's it. So you should have a top claw and a bottom claw, and you're ready to go on to the next part.